Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Keeping It Real with ER Sports. This is Michael Angelo alongside my co-host.
Boom.
How's it going, Boone? How's it going, my man?
All right, man. Great day, great end of the week. Hectic week, a lot going on, so let's jump right into it.
Okay, we'll be touching on the Lakers, AD, Kyrie, a little bit of NFL, Manny and Conor McGregor, a little bit of a Top Gun coming next summer. We'll touch on that a little bit. But let's start off with those Lakers, Boone.
Man, what'd you think about the series? Heck of a series, heck of a finals. What's your thoughts?
Well, I have to say, I feel good. I feel good right now, sitting at 2-0. And I really think without Dragic and Bam playing, it's a little difficult for Miami to get the ball rolling. I think even though if they would have been there like they did in game one, the Lakers were just too strong. Height advantage, strength, down in the paint. They were just too strong for Bam and the rest of the guys. So, but I am glad that they're sitting in the driver's seat right about now and 2 wins away from that chip. That's what it's all about.
I agree. It's been an incredible performance by the Lakers all the way around. I mean, everybody is truly contributing. Tonight, once again, you saw AD just go off 32 points tonight, 14 rebounds. He truly is playing possessed. LeBron added 33 tonight. And you have guys like Rondo coming off the bench with 16 points, 10 assists. It just is an incredible effort. I am incredibly impressed with the contributions from Rajon Rondo, not just tonight, but this whole series. He's truly proving that they would not have them rings in Boston without him.
Yep, he's one of a kind, man. He is one of a kind, and you could tell even today he wants that chip, man. He's playing hard. He's playing hard. He's staying with it, staying focused, and you could tell that the offense runs a little smoother when he's in there as well, man. He's a good facilitator.
Really is. And Butler hasn't been as effective on the offensive side. And I think that has to do with him. It is so much. Now you got to play defense. You really, truly have to play defense against a world class elite athlete. And Anthony Davis made a quote, and I am paraphrasing here, but he basically said he's been waiting his whole life for this moment, and no one and nothing is going to take it away from him. And he is playing like a finals MVP. Most likely LeBron might get it just because of his stature, but Davis is definitely playing like a finals MVP here. I do expect them to sweep, and AD has a shot here to average mid 35s for the series. So it's been a hell of a finals. But the luckiest person of it all is J.R. Smith, who just joined the team
Oh,
recently.
buddy.
He played 3 minutes tonight, and he had played okay in these playoffs, but he's sitting back, relaxing, waiting on his ring to be sized up.
Hey, one of the commentators today said, "Is that J.R. Smith in there?" Yeah, they let him have a little bit of fun for those 3 minutes,
Yeah,
like you said. But yeah, he got on the team just enough time to get another ring, and he's
and
he's gonna love it.
and he's not the only one being carried to a ring. JaVale McGee is being carried to a ring also, and
Yeah.
Horton Tucker and a few of them guys are. But it is truly a team effort. Dwight Howard has also contributed, even though tonight he played about 17 minutes and he had 6 points. But just him being in there as a big body down low in the paint is a force, and they're giving the Heat trouble. We've seen a lot of high scoring games. I thought it'd be a little bit more of a defensive matchup with the size that the Lakers have in the wings, but I fully expect the Lakers to win the next two and sweep it.
Yeah. And I'm happy for him as well. I think he deserves a ring. And you could tell he's in a different state this time around.
And he's so
How
happy. You can see the joy on his face.
Yeah, he's very grateful for it. He says he's a lot older now from the last time he was in the finals back in 2010. This is Howard we're talking about.
Right.
Um, you could tell he's grateful for it, and he sees everything totally different than he did back in 2010, and he's not taking anything for granted this time around. And I think he deserves a chip, man, because he's been through a lot. He's been through many teams, and a lot of people counted him out.
When
So
he left the Lakers the last time, I don't think anybody ever thought we would see him in a Laker uniform again, let alone playing in NBA Finals for the Lakers. So it's life is fun, and you never know what tomorrow may bring.
full circle,
It
and
really
he's
is.
he's playing his heart out, man. He's down there on the paint trying to rebound everything and blocking everything. And he's frustrating every big that comes across him. That's a good thing.
Really is, really is. No, so we will follow back up on it after the next two games. But again, Lakers take a commanding 2-0 lead against the Miami Heat. Again, once they go up 3-0, never been a team to come back down 3-0 in the NBA Finals. There's always a possibility, but going down 3-1, 3-0, my apologies, going down 3-0 is going to be very, very difficult for any team to come back. And the Lakers are running on all cylinders right now. Moving on to LeBron's former teammate, Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving always finds a way to make headlines.
But not for playing basketball since he hit that game winner, what, 5 years ago now, maybe?
He's always disrupting everything from back in Boston to now with Brooklyn. He's always disrupting the locker room, and now he wants to say some comments to make the headlines because he has nothing to do with the finals.
Yeah, unbelievable. First, he makes the statement that it's going to be a joint coaching effort between him, Durant, and Steve Nash. Like, who the hell are you? You know, in Cleveland, you made a statement earlier. What was that funny statement you made about in Cleveland with him and LeBron?
LeBron James sent Kyrie a life raft and a life jacket. He was drowning in Cleveland before he got there.
And then you go to Boston, and it's a disaster. They're making the playoffs before you get there. You hurt a lot. You falling out with your teammates. They proven once you left, they have a much better team without you. And now you go to Brooklyn. You hurt a lot when you're playing. It's not going that well. You saw 2 weeks ago playing on a pickup game on an outdoor basketball court somewhere in the offseason, scoring 30 points. It's like, dude, the guy's becoming a clown. He truly is. And then he makes a statement this week stating he felt like he was the best option on every team he's played down the stretch. And this will be the first time in his career where he said, I can look down and be like, that guy can make the shot too. Seriously?
He forgot he's been playing. He played with the best player in the NBA right now.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And then he's saying that there was no shot at LeBron. That was a direct shot at LeBron James.
It definitely was.
No, I don't see it working out in Brooklyn. I'd be shocked. I see them falling out. And Kyrie, LeBron James, the best thing that ever happened to Kyrie Irving. Is he a heck of a basketball player? Yes, but there's been thousands of great basketball players, and there's been a lot to come and go. And Kyrie is borderline about to be on that path. Well, we're going to be talking about, man, remember back when Kyrie hit that shot?
Yeah, that's going to be his only highlight. I mean, this past season, he disrupted the locker room there in Brooklyn. There's already animosity there. I mean, this guy, it just seems that everywhere he goes, he's always creating a mess. I guess the only good thing about him is going to be the Uncle Drew videos he put out, because other than that, it's going to be that shot.
And he keep talking about him being a clutch player. Again, I have not seen every game he's played, but he has not hit more than a handful of big shots, maybe less than 2 or 3 massive shots. He speaks as if he's hit multiple finals championship shots and game winners and double overtime shots. I mean, I don't consider him a clutch player. Yes, he hit that big shot down the stretch against Golden State, but he's a great shooter. So if he shoot it 10 times, he's gonna make at least a few. Again, I don't put him in a category with other legendary clutch players, and he's definitely not a Hall of Fame in my book at this point. He has a long way to go before he's considered a Hall of Famer. To me, Derrick Rose would be way higher on the list of a Hall of Famer than Kyrie, and Derrick is not a Hall of Famer in my book. But he did win the MVP, so you would have to think about it. But he just hadn't put up the numbers. And there's a lot of other guys who've had in short spurts had great careers also that was hurt and injuries, who I think is way better than Kyrie and Derrick from a career standpoint. So we will see how that plays out. But I'm just tired of Kyrie Irving. I am sick of it. I'd be glad when this coming season happens so that he can blow up everything in Brooklyn and we won't have to hear about that shit anymore.
So Kevin Durant can see what he's actually like, because he hasn't experienced that yet.
No, he has not. Durant gonna be like, this bum.
Yep, he hasn't experienced that. And one thing's for sure, Kyrie's not a leader. He's never been a leader. He is not a leader. He's far from it. Just because he may have some handles, but he's definitely not a leader. So it's going to be difficult over there in Brooklyn once.
Yeah, look, this the NBA. This is not Uncle Drew.
No, he's still trying to make a film with Uncle Drew over there in the Sandlot.
Absolutely. Oh, big week. This moving on to the NFL. Big week in the NFL this past week. A lot of things transpire. A lot of games. A lot more injuries. We've seen a lot of injuries. I mean, you was talking off air.
Several.
Do you think these injuries are occurring? Excuse me, because the training during the off season, guys maybe a little bit heavier. Guys wasn't running. Guys wasn't wearing pads because of COVID, and guys not in the condition and shape that they would have normally been in?
As much as everybody hates the off season and the whole 2 days in training and all that they do on a daily basis. I think that really helps him out in the long run. I mean, I know no one wants to play the preseason games because obviously injuries happen, and that's what usually happens. Like every preseason, there's always a number of guys who get hurt because they're just starting to rev their engine, and they pull a ham here, they bust their ACL and Achilles or so on and so forth. But I do think that's playing a role in it since they didn't have a time period where they can get used to the pads and going 100 miles per hour. Now comes game one, and they're going full speed, and all of a sudden something blows out. So I do think that has a role into why there's so many injuries.
I agree. I definitely concur with that. Also, hell of a game last night. Adam Gase is probably one of the worst coaches I've ever seen. I mean, he is literally a bum. He's always been a bum. I don't know why the Jets hired him. And why would you hire a coach that's failing? I do not get that. You know, he was horrible in Miami, and then you pay him. I say this all the time. The NFL and corporate America with Fortune 500 companies is the only industries I've seen in the world where you will have a individual who is failing at their job, who is losing games or losing millions of dollars and running the company or the team into a brick wall 100 miles per hour. And the next company or team come in and say, hey, you know what? We want to give you a 5-year, $15 million deal, guaranteed money. Come run us into the wall too, please. Do not get off the gas. Whatever you do, slam us into the same wall you ran the last two companies or teams into. This is unreal. And I've always been off the Sam Darnold bandwagon, but he really showed me a lot these last 2 weeks. He's made some throws that was amazingly impressive. The runs he made was impressive. I have to give him the benefit of the doubt, and that the problem is not him; it's Adam Gase.
Yeah, it's horrible. And yesterday there was two winless teams going against each other. Somebody had to win.
Yeah,
somebody had to win. The Broncos didn't do that well themselves, but they did just enough to make it through. But yeah, it's I have to agree with you. That's horrible, man. But it is true. They keep recycling these coaches who keep on.
There's got to be somebody out there better. There's got to be. Whether there's at this point, I would give a high school coach from one of these powerhouse high schools who won 15 state titles a chance. How much worse can it get? When you win in 2 or 3 games and as an NFL team, literally how much worse can things get? And you got a lot of college coaches to choose from. It can't get worse because literally, if you would take the head coach away and just tell the guys to play, they probably would have won 1 or 2 games without a head coach even there. Literally. I mean, I would like to see what the audience thinks about this because I think if you would have no coach there, they would at least pull together 1 or 2 wins. So, excuse my vernacular, what the beep do you have to lose?
Right.
I would not tolerate it. I would not. And some of these teams tolerate losing every year. I mean, I guess to some of these owners, it's not a big deal. When you have $15 billion in your bank account, I guess it's not that big of a deal. Things that you feel like things will be okay regardless in the morning. And with $15 billion, most mornings they're all okay.
Yeah,
but
definitely are.
I really don't understand that. Moving on to the America's team.
Okay. Dallas Cowboys. Man, my Dallas Cowboys. They fought hard, man. They fought hard. I got to give it to them. Dak Prescott, he's putting up the numbers. He's definitely putting up the numbers, and he's got some amazing stats to show for it. And I guess you can say, well, he's playing from behind. He's looking for that win, but he's staying on the grind, man. He really wants that W. I mean, they pulled it off the previous week with Atlanta. Obviously, that onside kick was ridiculous, but they were able to capitalize on it. And this past week with the Seahawks, they had a shootout, man.
But let's
And
be candid. Seattle has a very good team. They're a Super Bowl contending team, so it's not
right,
like they were playing,
there were no pushovers.
No, not at all. You would want to see them pull through on games like that because, again, it shows you where your team is at if you can pull through and beat a team like Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
They did play very well. Play calling, again, I think is suspect. I am not a fan of the play calling last week. I thought down the stretch, the play calling on the offensive and primarily the defensive side of the ball, really on the defensive side of the ball, I thought the play calling could have been a little bit different. But again, they're the professionals, and we'll see what happens moving forward. I believe they have the Browns this week coming.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big win because the Browns are 2-1, and they're trying to show that they're not pretenders, but they're contenders. Again,
Mm-hmm.
Dallas 1-2 do not want to fall to 1-3, especially with a loss to the Browns. So this is a very big game as the season moves forward.
Yeah, I have to give a shout out to Cedric Wilson, the wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. That man came out of nowhere. He ended the night with 5 catches and 106 yards. That boy's balling, man. And while we're
Wow.
on the subject of balling, I also have to give credit to Alden Smith. Alden Smith is playing tough, man. Through 3 weeks, he has a total of 20 tackles, 4 sacks, despite not playing in a game since 2015. He's well on his way to making one of the most remarkable comebacks in history, man. I got to give it to him.
Well, I got to give a stop it to Ezekiel Elliott. 14 carries, 34 yards. Stop it, man. Stop it.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
stop it.
That was
You
rough.
wanted all the big contract, 34 yards, 14 carries.
That was rough.
1 touchdown that's not going to get it done. And Dak played well. He had 2 interceptions, but it was definitely a good outing. My shout out from that game would have to go to, of course, Russell Wilson playing MVP caliber, 27 of 40, 315 yards, and 5 touchdowns. 5.
Yeah.
5 touchdowns. And you have guys like Metcalf, Ole Miss shout out, Ole Miss alumni, superstar, helping him out, really helping him out there with 110 yards and 4 receptions. He did have that
Yeah,
that
you need to
mistake.
talk. You need to talk to you need to talk to your boy, man. Hold on to that ball before that end zone.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I mean, he won't make that mistake again. So
I bet he won't, but you got to give credit to Diggs for hustling and
he
catching
did.
up.
He stayed with it, and that's a play of a winner there. Definitely a play of a winner.
Yeah, he hustled hard.
Yeah. Moving on to games last week, the New Orleans Saints. I've been telling you this off air that I felt like they should have moved on from Drew Brees. And again, I'm not sure if Bridgewater would have been the answer. And I'm sure fans down in the Big Easy want to rip me to pieces. But I just feel like that Brees, they're not throwing the ball down the field. I'm not sure if he's not throwing the ball down the field because he doesn't have confidence in his receivers with Thomas out, or he's not throwing the ball down the field because his arm strength is not there. He's never been a truly big arm guy, and as his age, I'm sure that arm strength is not nearly what it used to be. Yeah, but they got to figure something out because this is not going to get it done. 1-2 is just things trending bad.
Right. I really think not having Michael Thomas there is allowing a lot of this to come to light. Because I think if Michael Thomas there, he kind of throws a blanket over all those minor things. But now since he's not there, the number one receiver who literally has done an amazing job the last couple of years, it's kind of showing the true colors. And I mean, I hate to say it, but age might be catching up to good old Brees.
And stats-wise, he had a good night outing, 29 of 36, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I just felt like down the stretch, he couldn't make the plays that needed to be made, and the defense looks bad.
Yeah, they definitely look different from last year. And Kamara came out today trying to defend Drew Brees and pretty much telling everybody to leave him alone, and he's doing just fine.
The defense have given up in the first 3 weeks 23 points, 34 points, and now 37 points. That's not going to get it done. That's not. And I know the Saints are used to putting up 40, 50 points, 39, 42 points to win games, but that's just too stressful. It puts too much strain on the offense. You got to get tight on the defense. You really do.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you definitely do. Moving on to the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers has been playing like his vintage self. Got to give credit to that man. He's doing real well, even though he played without Devontae Adams. He's been lighting it up. It's another injury happened to one of his wide receivers, and he's out for the season. Lazar, that's who had been contributing for him the most. Now that his receiver was out, Devontae Adams. But it's just like you said, man. There's injuries left and right, and they just got to find the next man up to take that role. But I got to give credit to Aaron Rodgers. He's also playing real well. He has an MVP season so far. Obviously, Russell Wilson's at the helm of all that, but he's looking good. I guess with the Packers picking up that quarterback in the draft this past year, really lit a firework under him. So he's gonna show the administration that he still has what it takes to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. So big weekend coming up this weekend in NFL football. Really looking forward. We have Dallas and Cleveland, Minnesota and Houston. Is going to be a very good game. Houston 0-3. Things are getting ugly. Deshaun got his new deal. Again, they decided to move on from their superstar receiver.
I bet you he's real happy right now.
Yes, he is.
DeAndre Hopkins is real happy right now with how everything's going over in Houston.
Correct. We have Jacksonville and Cincinnati. Joe Burrow looking for his first win. He took a solid hit this past weekend. I didn't think he was going to recover.
Man,
this is not college anymore. This is not college.
I saw a video. They did a split video of him running out of the pocket, throwing a pass. One of the LSU receivers, him catching it, taking it into the end zone. College football for you. Then they showed one of last week, him scrambling out of the pocket, got laid out, and the caption read, "Welcome to the NFL. It's not college."
Wow. But I'm looking forward to the New England game. It's going to be a Sunday afternoon game against Kansas City. We have Cam Newton against Patrick Mahomes. That's going to be a very interesting game. I don't think New England has a scoring potential as Kansas City, but I think it's going to be a very interesting game to see how Cam responds and plays. Also, the Giants, what are they going to do? Barkley's done. They're 0-3. I think it's going to be a long year.
Man, there's rumors out there that they're expecting the Jets to be number one and the Giants to be number 2 pick, and they're both planning on moving on from their quarterbacks at this time. So
Trevor Lawrence is going to be available. I'm sure he's going to opt to leave this year, so I guess he could end up with one of the New York teams. Philly, I'm wondering when Philly is going to give Jalen Hurts a real shot. They're 0-2-1. At some point, if things continue, you have to imagine seeing Jalen Hurts getting a shot on the field and seeing what he can really do.
I can't wait for that. I really think the coach needs to give him an opportunity. Wentz is playing like a shell of himself. It's just, I know it's early in the season. Give him some time. That's what Peterson said. But man, it's horrible the way
Wentz is a disaster. He's not. I hear what Doug Peterson is saying. Wentz is not a rookie. I could see if he was a rookie and he's saying, "Hey, give him some time." I mean, look how much they're paying this guy. They gave him the big deal. They stuck with him and got rid of other quarterbacks. They did everything under the sun. He's playing bad, and it's only a matter of time before he get hurt again. So if he's just saying give him time, so he's gonna be hurt soon, then we can go on to Hurts. Is that what he's trying to imply?
It's bad, man. He's 79 for 132, 59.8%. He has 3 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in the last 12 games. I mean, this he has a whopping 63.9 rating. It's horrible over there. It's horrible.
I saw this stat yesterday. It said Russell Wilson, and also you guys is on our Instagram page. That is Real with ER Sports. Real with ER Sports. Check us out on Instagram. A lot of cool facts, videos, not just professional sports, but amateur sports, home sports, anything active or fitness related. Russell Wilson could throw an interception on his next 45 pass attempts, and he'd still have a better passer rating than Carson Wentz. Just think about that for a moment. So Russell Wilson could throw 45 straight interceptions and still have a better passer rating than Carson Wentz. I rest my case.
Let me give you this fun fact on the Philadelphia Eagles. They're 0-3 for the first time since 1999. and that was when Doug Peterson was their quarterback. That'll show you everything.
Oh man, I don't know. So we will see. Big weekend coming up with the NFL.
Josh Allen, man. Josh Allen. Man, he's playing lights out. I gotta give it to him.
I love how physical he is. The
Big
tenacity he
boy.
plays with, aggressiveness. He really plays to win. I really like that about him. I really do.
I gotta throw it in there. He's playing real well. He's up there in the running for MVP as well. He's probably top 3. The numbers he's putting up, and this past week he went 24 for 33 with 311 yards and 4 TDs, and he's a rushing monster, man. He's a rushing monster. They're 3-0 right now, so the Bills are looking real well now that they have Stephon Diggs over there.
Absolutely. Coming up, moving on to boxing, the Manny Pacquiao versus Conor McGregor fight that is stated to happen in the Middle East sometime coming up, I believe, next year, or is it going to be next year, not end of this year, next year.
They were trying to get it. They were trying to get it at the end of the year, but they need to iron all that out.
Pacquiao is going to use the goal to help Filipinos fund the struggling as a result of COVID-19 pandemic, which is awesome. I'm sure Conor will find a good way to use some of his proceeds also. I'm sure he's aware of the new Lamborghini coming out, so he's going to make sure that
definitely is.
He's going to make sure that he takes care of Lamborghini Corporation and Richard Mille, make sure that they're doing well starting the year, first quarter. I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. Pacquiao is obviously offset. Even though I'm a Floyd Mayweather fan, Pacquiao is one of the greatest fighters of our time. He is a truly amazing fighter. Regardless of rumors and the injuries, at the end of the day, in the ring, he's proven that he can tote it, he can carry it, and he's a world-class boxer. A lot of people will argue with me on this, but I believe Conor McGregor is an above-average boxer. I do. I think that this will be his second fight now. Again, I don't think he's a true threat to Pacquiao, but I think Conor could look better in this fight, and I think Conor is looking for having a boxing career. The money is definitely better than what he's going to see in MMA. I mean, it's not even close. And the physical beating is going to be a lot less, so it makes sense for him to box. And if he can put a strong showing against Pacquiao, then, there's a lot of other professional fighters who say, okay, he's definitely going to bring the money, the pay-per-view buys, the marketing, and he's a legitimate boxer. Let's fight. So it's going to be a very interesting fight. I think Conor's going to come with everything he's got.
He is.
Hopefully Pacquiao is in shape. Age haven't gotten to him. The layoffs haven't gotten to him. I do expect to see a competitive fight. And that's no slight at Pacquiao. I think he's one of the greatest of all time. I just think he's not going to be ready where he needs to be. And I think Conor's gonna bring a good fight to the table.
I wouldn't say that, man. I understand where you're coming from. And, I mean, you have a little soft heart for Mayweather, but
that has nothing to do with that.
If history
hasn't looked well as of late,
man, I don't know what well is to you, bud, but he's been fighting his butt off lately,
beating bums.
Nah, boy, they may be bums after they're done with him, but before they fight him, they're up and coming. Just about everybody who's fought him in the last year and a half have been up and coming stars.
He beat so his let's just look at this right now. So his last few fights, he beat. One moment here. We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Just about everybody he's fought recently has been up and coming stars. Now they didn't ultimately end up being stars because the way he handled all of them. But Pacquiao's been battling with the top ones and pulling them all to the bench because they haven't been doing much. Now, and he's still in great shape. I mean, let's face it, Conor McGregor is a businessman and a very smart businessman. And he realized that from going into the UFC octagon and getting all that ground and pound and all those injuries to his body, and only making maybe 100,000, 500,000 compared to going into the ring on an exhibition fight, 8 to 10 rounds, making millions of dollars when he fought.
Tens of millions, correct.
When he fought Mayweather. And he said, what am I doing? What's wrong with me? This is where the money's at. This is what I need to be doing. Now, if he's taking it serious or if he's not, I have no idea. But one thing he is taking for serious is that Money in the Bank, because that's exactly what he's aiming for, and he knows with Pacquiao, it's going to be close to the same amount as well.
So since his loss to Floyd, he beat Timothy Bradley, which is a solid fighter. I will say that. He beat Jesse Vargas, who's not impressive. He lost to Jeff Horn. And regardless of the voting,
if you saw that fight, you would have said
see that fight. I did see that fight, and I could see that Pacquiao won that fight. But it wasn't. Pacquiao didn't dominate that fight like a lot of people want to say.
No, he took a beating.
Jeff Horn is a bum. That's a bum. He's a journeyman. And yes, I think Pacquiao won it on the points. But again, a fight like that shouldn't have been that close. So he did beat Mathazy. He beat Broner. We're not going to even get into the Broner fight. That fight shouldn't have even happened. That's Al Heyman and them just putting that together. Now, he beat Keith Thurman, who I think is a solid fighter and one of the top fighters in the world. And he did beat Thurman.
Star.
Yeah, now that's a decisive win. I will say that 100%.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was undefeated.
He was. And Pacquiao won the super welterweight title, the WBA. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But now, that was in July of 2019. So we're going to be looking at probably almost 2 years from that date. Pacquiao hasn't fought. At that fight, Pacquiao was 40 years old. So he's going to be 42, 43 years old. Again, I would think, and I'm not looking at it, I would think Conor's going to have the reach on him on this fight. I would think Conor would have the reach. Let's see. I'm not sure what his is, what Pacquiao versus Conor reach is. But I would think Conor would have the reach on him. Pacquiao hand speed has always been legendary. Probably the only fighters in this era with faster hand speed than him is Jab Judah and Mayweather. So as long as Pacquiao has the hand speed that he's always had, I don't think Conor can compete with him. It's going to be an easy fight. Pacquiao will probably carry Conor for a few rounds and then get him out of there. But again, my point was if Pacquiao has aged, if he is not in the best shape because he's been dealing with more important things in life, being a strong representative for his country and his political position, then we could have an upset on our hands. You know, it really depends on if Pacquiao is going to be in shape and take the fight seriously.
One thing I can tell you is Manny Pacquiao is a multitasker. Don't let that fool you. What he's doing on his day job. That man, he's been around so long because of his footwork. He's so unorthodox to all these boxers that they can't keep up with him because once they swing a jab at him, he's already standing on the opposite side from where he was when they threw that jab. That's one thing he's always had towards his advantage. And I seriously don't think McGregor's going to be able to keep up with that quickness and his unorthodox fighting.
I wonder what weight they're going to fight at because McGregor, I'm looking 5'8", 170. What was his weight for the Floyd fight, you know?
I believe it was somewhere around 150, 160.
Okay, and so I'm guessing he's going to have to come down again in weight because I know he's even heavier than 170 now because he hadn't been fighting or working out. Mm-hmm. So, because they have Manny at 5'6", 146, and of course that's accurate because he's a welterweight basically. Mm-hmm. Both are southpaws. So, it's going to be an interesting fight. I saw a comment Floyd said yesterday he would get back in the ring, but he wanted a minimum $300 million to fight Conor. He said he would fight him for $300 million. So what was stated that if Conor was to beat Pacquiao, which again, I'm not saying I think that will happen, not unless Pacquiao is completely out of shape. If Conor was to beat him, then Floyd could probably get about $500 million in guarantees to fight Conor in a rematch.
Man.
Which would be insane. I'm sure him and his whole team is hoping, it might be in their best interest to tell Manny, hey, lay down and we'll give you $100 million.
Yeah. It definitely would. I think that's what happened the first time, but hey, don't ask me. But yeah, it's correction.
Yeah, I'm sure all other 50 laid down too, huh?
That was a correction.
I'll tell you who laid down since you want to bring up who went to sleep. You want to bring up who went to sleep.
Hold on.
Marquez, I think one Manuel Marquez is on the line.
Hey, don't go that far back, man. Hold on, relax. You're getting out of hand over here. But Floyd Mayweather weighed 146 pounds and Manny Pacquiao weighed 145.
Okay. So Conor's going to have to come down with the size. Interesting fight. I'm just happy we've got some good fights. Again, I'm more of a boxing fan than MMA fan, so I'm happy that we have some good boxing matches coming up. We're still not sure what's going to happen with the Roy Jones-Mike Tyson match. It's looking like it might not happen. Mike Tyson is looking in unreal shape. I think Mike Tyson doesn't realize this is an exhibition bout. I think he's looking at, hey, he didn't leave the ring the
Blood,
way he wanted to. So this
blood.
time, he's going to leave the ring on the way he wanted to end his career. He's going to
He's looking for blood, man.
– I can see him standing over Roy Jones talking about if he die, he die.
He even said that he wouldn't mind taking somebody who's fighting today, who's fighting right now and competing and for a belt. He said he wouldn't mind fighting.
The way Tyson is looking, I think he can handle Joshua and Fury in there. I do.
Man, I would love to see that.
I do. I'll tell you what would be crazy if he destroys Roy in November and first of next year, he fights, let's say, a contender and dominates him, and then next summer he wins the world heavyweight title again. How crazy! That would be the craziest story in the world.
Oh man, that'd give every 50-year-old hope. Every 50-year-old that played a sport in their life, they're gonna give them hope.
It's gonna come down to can he take the punches? Because he can give it right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna come down to can he take the punches. So we'll see. It's gonna be very interesting. Now on to my favorite subject of the night. Top Gun. Definitely the original Top Gun. One of my favorite movies of all time. I used to watch it as a child, play the video games for PlayStation many, many times. Just a fan of it. I mean, it had me and I'm sure every other kid in the country want to be a fighter jet pilot. It came out in 86. I almost was 7 or 8 when I first saw it. Because I definitely didn't see it when it first came out. So, amazing movie. Finally, many years later, decades later, from 1986 to what would have came out in spring of this year, but it was delayed because of COVID, the new Top Gun Maverick, now to be released in 2021, starring Val Kilmer, Tom
All-Star
Cruise. Absolutely, they're back. Everybody's back. Man, have you seen the trailer yet?
Yes, I did, man. I did. It looks very good. I like the fact that Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly, and John Hamm are in there also. It's an all-star crew. I like that. But it definitely looks good. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to see it. I tell you what, I'm not enthused about going to the movie theater in this COVID time, to be honest.
Not at all.
But hopefully when this comes out, I guess next spring is going to be coming out, that things are a lot better. If not, I might have to just put on my full respirator and biohazard outfit and go sit in the theater.
Make your way in.
Have about a whole row to the left, to the right, in front of me, and behind me.
Yes,
I have to just figure it out. But it's $152 million budget compared to the original one had about an $18 million budget, I believe. So it's gonna be a hell of a movie. I can't wait. Pete Maverick Mitchell is back.
Wow. That should be interesting, my man.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Keeping It Real with ER Sports. We sure hope you enjoyed it. If there's something y'all want to hear, let us know. Shoot us a comment. Send us a comment. Make sure and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We got more stuff coming out here in the near future. Just stick with us. And we're getting better as we go. So just stick with us. Boone, let them know, man. We're coming.
Be on the lookout. We have a few specials coming. Hope you guys enjoyed our COVID with Sports special that we did. We'll have another special coming out next week. And we're going to have specials coming, documentaries. We're also going to be having some live interviews with former professional athletes, current professional athletes, coaches, high school athletes. All that's going to be coming here in the next few months. So we're coming. We're definitely coming.
All right, guys. Until next time, man. This is Michelangelo alongside
Boom.
Peace out, y'all.
Hit that like button, subscribe, visit our Instagram page, Real with ER Sports. Love you. Till next time.
Ladies.